What's up, everybody? Boxing Source checking in, man. I got my guy here, of course, rising up in the welterweight division. Hit me Neutron. Oh, no, my bad. It's brother Jalil Hackett, man. What's going on with you?
What's up? How you doing?
All good, man. All good. You're about a couple weeks away. About to be fighting there in Puerto Rico against Jose Vazquez. Got this good fight coming up as part of that card for Power versus Hitchens, man. How you been feeling?
I've been feeling good. Camp going good. You know, just overly excited. This fight right here will make it where December is my most fought in month. You know, so I be feeling good about them December fights.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I mean, you've been getting busy, getting it in there during December over the past few years, and now you got another fight here coming up against Vazquez. And you know, I know that you just get it into the rankings there in the WBA. I think you're like number 15, but you have one of those titles there, so you're just trying to build your way up there, up in those rankings there with just, you know, what, 9 fights.
Yeah, no, it's big. It's nice. I think they got me at like 13. I think they got me at 13 right now. So it's just all about step by step, brick by brick. You know, moving up in the rankings. You know, making it be known that like I'm that guy.
Yeah, for sure. Now I know that you had recently entered into having fights that are scheduled for 10 rounds. Your last fight you had against Pete Dobson, you were able to get the full 10 rounds in. Like how was it to kind of like have that as a pro? Because I know you've been working like real hard as far as like in the gym and sparring and all that type of stuff. So you go like a whole bunch of rounds there and sparring. But like having that 10-round experience, how was that for you?
It was good. You know, I always tell people there's a big difference between going 10 rounds of sparring and going 10 rounds in a fight. So for me to get that under my belt, early in my career, in my 9th pro fight, it was good experience. Learned a lot from the fight, and I'm anxious to see how we do this next fight.
Gotcha. Now, of course, you're there with your father, Coach Bernard Hackett. You also got, Coach Calvin Ford at times, and Coach Kenny Ellis there with you. What have you been like learning over the past year or so? Having that team around you that's kind of like built you to this particular point.
Really learning, taking the next step. A lot of little things that I have to do differently to elevate myself from just a prospect who's getting his feet wet to an actual contender who's soon to be a champion. Just the small things, inside the ring, outside the ring, the way I'm training, everything like that. So, yeah, those are the biggest pieces, like making those transitions.
Like prospect, a contender to eventual world champion. That's one thing there.
Yeah.
But you've over the past few years, of course, pretty much like followed you from the start of your career up to now. And I brought up the thing as far as like the Hemi Neutron, like I'm him, so, because like wherever you go, like what they've been saying about you is like, yo, he's that dude. He's there putting in work and everything like that. So how is it to get that type of praise there, or accolades from those that have seen you around various gyms or various spots here around the country?
It feels good. I know I put the work in. Some people think that it's a little early for a lot of the fights he's taking or the situations he's getting put in. People think it's rushed. But I put the rushed level of work in. Most guys, they start trying to prepare themselves to be at the highest level when they get to the highest level. I've been, going hard since even before I turned pro.
Yeah.
I can date back to my first camp as a professional getting prepared for my pro debut. I was training like I was getting ready for a world title fight. On the back end of that camp, I did 15 rounds with Tank. So it's like I've been preparing myself for this point for a long time. So I feel like everything that's happening and everything that's going to happen, I deserve it.
Yeah, you mentioned that thing as far as like preparing with Tank Davis, and you've been in the ring with a lot of the guys that have been pro for years and years and years, and this is just when you were just starting out. So when you, like you say, when you're preparing yourself, going up against guys of that level, then you expect to perform at an optimal level once you're in the ring there. So like as you mentioned, you're there around 9-0, about to go 10-0, but you see that you're pretty much around that point where you're getting yourself ready to become a world champion, real soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, it's all about, you know, what you put in. You know, and I feel like I've put in a whole lot. So that's why in return, you know, I'm receiving a whole lot. You know, some guys feel like, you know, they should be receiving what I'm receiving, you know, but they didn't put in a lot. They put in a little. When you put in a little, you get a little. So.
Yep, for sure, for sure. Now this is, you know, your second bout, you know, under Matchroom Boxing. You know, your first bout there in July, like I said, Wells Fargo Center and everything like that. Like, how is it to like get that, you know, that at least that second bout in within or before the end of 2024?
It's good. You know, I'm liking the activity that I'm having with Matchroom. You know, nice activity, being put on nice cards. You know, I'm getting the proper experience that I need to make my steps to the next level. So I'm liking it. I'm looking to close out the year real strong in December.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now on that card there, you got that main event, Liam Powell versus Richard Hitchens, there for a world title there, IBF at 140 pounds. That's going to be an interesting bout, you know, between those two. You got, like, you know, anything you know about either one of those fighters?
Both fighters are, you know, they both good fighters. They have two different styles. You know, Hitchens is more of a boxer, while Pyro is more like the aggressor, like inside fighter. I think it'll be a battle of styles. You know, if Hitchens controls the outside, you know, controls the rounds with his jab, he'll win the fight. If Pyro controls it with pressure, then he'll win the fight. But, you know, they're both good fighters. Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you had, you know, Power, of course, you know, winning the IBF title over Sabril Matias there in Puerto Rico. And for Hitchens, he had that fight against Gustavo Lemos in Las Vegas. You know, that was a pretty interesting bout. You know, a number of folks thought that, you know, Hitchens kind of like skated off there with the decision there a little bit. But, you know, in that particular fight, that's like a top level fight. So, yeah, I'm expecting that to be a really good one on there. Now, we're looking forward to 2025. Your plans for 2025. Now, I know you talk about, you know, being prospect, contender, champion. You're here doing the 10-round bouts. You plan on getting about at least a couple 10-round bouts and then seeing what's going to be going on with the 147-pound division?
Yeah, you know, right now, like I always say, we taking everything step by step. You know, Eddie Point, we go get him. You know, he been, you know, basically telling us like, oh, this is the guy. I'm like, all right, bet. So, you know, it's definitely been a situation of, all right, we fight this fight, then we see what's next. You know, we're gonna get this guy in December, because I don't look past nobody. I don't care who they are. We got this guy in December. After we get this guy out of the way, then we sit back, you know, talk to the team and figure out what we're gonna do next. But I think if things go how I predict it'll go, 2025 will be a very big year for me and my team.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I know Eddie will be in there like, hey, look, I mean, we have this guy over here, you know, that's here for you. I mean, we probably set this up. So he'll probably have that path for you to eventually, you know, get to at least, you know, like I said, with the WBA currently in that path, but, you know, other things open up, then he could, you know, probably get something worked out for you there to kind of like enter in, like, say, for example, the IBF rankings there, 147 or something like that. So just gotta, you know, wait it out for that. But one thing I wanted to like kind of talk about, because, you know, like I said, you know, we've kind of like went through your career, you know, from like, you know, 1-0, 2-0 up until now. But, you know, we hadn't necessarily talked about, you know, your background, because in one particular fight you had, you know, you had like a, what is it, Cardozo jersey there after the win and everything like that. You're a, you know, basketball junkie. You know what I'm saying? So, like going to that as far as like, you know, your love for the game of basketball.
I always had like a deep love for basketball, because it was one of those situations where like I played everything growing up, but the sport I wasn't the best at was basketball, and I loved like the sport, but it's like I'm also big on if I ain't the best at it, then I'm not doing it. So, you know, that's why I stuck with boxing, because I was nice at boxing, but I never lost my love for basketball.
I feel you. You know, I mean, yeah, that's you know one of the joints there. You know, like I said, like you said, I mean, you know, you didn't necessarily have that I guess ability in comparison to being a boxer, but you still follow the sport. So I kind of understand that for sure. So, but we just getting you ready here. Like I said, a couple weeks away, you're gonna be flying over to Puerto Rico. Damn man, Puerto Rico. Shit. Went out there.
I ain't been to Puerto Rico in a while, so I'm gonna definitely enjoy every moment.
Yeah. So you definitely got that thing there. You're able to have a couple days to enjoy it, and then it's go time. It's go time there on December 7th. So we're looking forward to that. Jalil Major Hackett, staying undefeated here in 2024. We're gonna look for more in 2025.
For sure, man. I got big news coming. We got December, and then January 2025. I got something coming for y'all.
Hey, y'all be able to look out for that. Hey, y'all follow him, Jalil Major Hackett. All right, here we go.